I've been a bit sick lately and I just wanted to talk about that as we walk around Sanur, check out what's going on. I'm starting off actually out the front of a furniture place called Penny Furniture, and I was just passing by, so I ran back up the road to have a look. But they do all these beautiful carved wooden doors. Look at this, isn't that beautiful? And carved wooden furniture. I guess it's a little dresser with, you put a little mirror in there. And there's a guy over there doing some painting. And we wouldn't mind having a look at that one as well. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Beautiful door. So if you ever build a house here in Bali, you can get one of these things. Beautifully hand-carved pieces of furniture. That Penny Furniture here in Sanur, beautiful, eh? I like that. I don't even know what that style's called, but it looks beautiful. Quite modern, with the old carving. Sort of modernises things a little bit. It's actually just across the road from the Rumah Sakit Bali Mandara. So Rumah Sakit is hospital, so across the road from the Bali Mandara hospital there. Yeah, I've actually been a bit sick recently, and I sort of wanted to talk about it because I did a video a few weeks back about Bali Belly and how, you know, you've been living here a while, you don't really get it as much, you know. I get it, but it's all right once you've been here a bit longer. You know, it's just the same for me as it is for everyone else, I think, because I got done pretty hard by it. The problem with Bali Belly is that you never really know what causes it. You have suspicions, but at the end of the day, what it is, we don't know. Is it a virus? Is it a parasite? Is it a bacteria? Was it the food you ate? Was it from touching something that was unhygienic? Was it something in the air? And so it goes for me. I actually got the first pangs of this after a recent trip to Australia, which is something else I probably haven't really explained a lot about in recent times. I'm just coming here, by the way, warung bunana for my first food in about 48 hours. Let's go and have a bit of a feed. Oh, it's getting pretty busy in here. Hello, how are you? Lagi nongkrong ya. All right, go and have a bit of a feed in here. For those of you who don't know, warung bunana does roti canai. And I went here not long ago, for the first time in ages actually. And it just reminded me of how much I love this place. And the good thing about this is that, like, bread is, when you've got a dodgy stomach, bread's supposed to be good, isn't it? Like plain stuff. I mean, it's full of oil and butter, but if you don't eat the curry, it should be okay, shouldn't it? We'll see. So 2 nights ago, I went to bed like a champion. And at about 2 a.m, my stomach sends up a flare. And if you've been in Bali before, you know what that flare means. And 15 years here in Indonesia, you know, me and Bali Belly, you know, we're like old colleagues. We don't really like each other very much, but yeah, we know what each other's getting up to when it happens, you know. Now, I'm not going to discuss what happened at 2 a.m. that night, because what happens at 2 a.m. sort of stays at 2 a.m. But I wake up feeling fine. And I guess that's where the mistake really starts, because you sort of fool yourself into thinking everything's okay. So I went off and played paddle with Greg, David and Andrew. I don't think Greg watches the channel, but I think David and Andrew do. We were playing paddle fine, you know, and then the wall came and it didn't build up at all. It just came with a bang. And I just lost all my energy and I could hardly stand up. I just hit the wall completely like I've never felt before. And Dave's asked me, are you okay? Are you okay? And it's like I was a bit of a scarecrow, like someone's just lent the paddle racket against me. Like I was gone completely. And we finished the game and I just sort of sat there and I thought, it actually reminded me of when I had dengue fever once. This wall of fatigue hit me. I don't know if it was dehydration or what, but it wasn't good. So I finally sort of made my way back home on the motorbike, went upstairs, got into bed, and I didn't leave the room until this morning. So this morning I'm about 75% ready to go, you know. And there's one thing that you learn in Bali is that your stomach is the one that dictates what happens next, you know. You think, you know, you can sort of think, I'm pretty strong, I can get through it. But if your stomach decides that you're not, well, it's game over, isn't it? So I'm going to try the roti, see how we go, see if I can get through this video without needing to dash off to the toilet or have a spew or something like that. But we've all been through it before, you know. It's easy to have a laugh about it once it's over, but when you're in it, it's hell. So I guess I'm trying to find out what the moral of the story is, really. Sometimes you feel when you've been living here a little while that you're more capable of dealing with some of these things, but I don't know, I think that somehow, unless you sort of were brought up here as a baby, your body never really adjusts to the reality of what's going on here in Bali or Indonesia as far as food hygiene goes and that sort of thing. I mean, I don't even know if it's a food hygiene issue. I mean, whatever bug that I've gotten, my body does not cope with it. Like, for example, Susan, in all the time I've known her, has been sick to that level once in all the time that I've known her, and that was in a different country. That was in Sri Lanka. So it could even be just the different bugs in different countries. Like, she is totally adapted to whatever bugs are here, and I'm not after all these years. It could be as simple as that. The other thing is, I had just gotten off a flight from Australia, and I think when you travel a lot and you've had to do overnight flights and so forth, sometimes your immune system gets worn down, and it probably wears you down physically a little bit more than you maybe thought it might. Because I sort of like fly these days and don't really care, but I think you're overly tired, and you haven't had enough sleep, and you haven't really eaten very well, and maybe a little bit stressed because you're trying to be on a time frame, and that sort of brings you down a little bit as well. There's one thing I haven't really spoken about much on the channel is me going back to Australia, and I will do a more sort of comprehensive discussion about this. But my dad's 82 this year, and he lives on his own, and life's getting more difficult for him as years go by, and I feel an obligation to look after him a little bit more. I don't mean look after him like, doing his shopping for him, for example. I just mean looking after his affairs, sort of that management role, if you like, making sure he gets the proper care, making sure that the government's involved when they need to be as far as, helping him, because he lives on his own. So I will talk about that in another video, I think, because dealing with family issues when you live in a different country deserves a bit of attention, I think. I haven't really spoken about it much, mainly because I haven't really wanted to get into it. But I think it might be helpful for people to know what I'm going through, so you can have a think about it from your own perspective as well. I actually have been travelling back to Australia quite a few times already this year, and you probably wouldn't even know, because I do it so quickly that I can do it sort of in between videos sometimes, like really quickly, nick back and forth to get stuff done. Stuff that needs to be done on the ground, it was too difficult to organise from here. So that's some of the detail I'll probably go into in another video. So I got myself a small roti canai. Look at that, beautiful. That curry I know is beautiful, but I reckon it's a bit too harsh for me at the moment for my stomach. So I'm gonna eat this canai on its own. Last time I had it here, I just loved it. And I actually forgot how good it was. So hopefully it's good again. All right, let's give this a go. Oh, it's crispy, very crispy. I love that. It's soft and buttery and crispy all at once. Even better when you dip it in that curry. The thing I love about this place is you can come in for a quick snack, and it doesn't break the bank. It's only $7,500 for that. If you want two of them, you can get two. Or if you want to get a big one, it's only $12,500. They do a good tartare here, but if you want to get a special roti, they can put onion in there, garlic, and get sweet ones. They can put sardines in it, which I think is pretty weird. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to try some of that curry. Amazing. All right, let's carry on. I was thinking about going down to the beach again. Hello, thank you. Give us a bit of a hello. Whey! I was thinking about going down to the beach and having a look down there. I know they've got some horses down there. I wanted to see what the situation with the horses was. There used to be camels down there, which was really odd. And then I saw that there was horses down there. I'm not sure what the story is with them, but I'm going to have a look. I'm going to try and go down this road, Jalan Tanjung. I think I came down this road quite a while ago, and it's one of those roads which sort of cuts down towards Pantai Mertasari. Hello. I've got a shirt on today that a lot of people in the past have commented on, and it's a big octopus, but you've probably never really got a good look at it because it's hard for me to get the angle right. Like, just look at that. But it's an octopus that goes all the way around. It's pretty cool, I reckon. But the problem is this shirt is one of these ones that I got off some like Chinese website, and they're using like a plasticky fabric. It's not even like a proper polyester or anything like that, so it doesn't do well in the heat, to be honest. So when you sweat in it, it sort of traps the sweat in rather than sort of wicking it away. As I've said in the past, most mornings when I wake up, Susan's going through something on her phone, like social media or something like that. And she's always coming across articles which are interesting, which are either Bali adjacent or Indonesia adjacent articles. And often I've already seen them through other social media, but from a different angle, and then she'll relay the article that she's seen. And there was an article, oh, there you go. For sale or rent long term, the Tanjung residence. Heaps of places like that if you want to rent a place here in Sanur. You just walk the street, you'll find a place often with a much better price than you would through an agent, because it's usually direct with the owner. Anyway, so Susan's sort of talking about these this incident which has occurred here in Bali recently, and I won't go into the details because it probably will probably cause more trouble than it's worth. And another place for sale. I think I came past it last time. But anyway, in the comments, someone said the word, well, they didn't actually say it properly because they didn't really know what they were talking about, but what they meant was the word or the term kupu-kupu malam. And it's a really interesting term in Indonesia. So kupu-kupu is the word for a butterfly. And you always have to say kupu-kupu. You can't say kupu. There's always kupu-kupu. And then malam means night. So it is night butterfly. But it's actually the polite word for prostitute. I think, am I going the wrong way here? I'm not sure. It's actually the polite word for prostitute. This is quite nice down here, isn't it? Always like this area of town. Really nice. So there you have it. If you ever want to talk about prostitutes here in Indonesia, you can say kupu-kupu malam and people will know what you're talking about, but it won't seem too crass. That's an expensive penjaw, that one. That's a good one. I've noticed in recent years there's this trend towards if you've got a little bit more money, your penjaw will be a much fatter one. The first time I ever came across that word, kupu-kupu malam, was when I was learning Indonesian, and I don't know how, but in my mind it has some relationship with the train station in Bandung, where I obviously lived for a long time. Because down there was lots of kupu-kupu malam, but also lots of waria. Yeah? So waria means wanita pria. So I don't know what the term is in English, because I know there's a lot of sensitivity around it, but it's like cross-dressing or transsexual or trans, whatever, you know what the term is, without any disrespect. Actually, I don't even know what they are, the warrior, to be honest. I don't even know if they really see themselves as men who dress up as women, or whether they really think they are women. That's a different thing. Not even sure what it is. But anyway, they're called warrior. They're men, or who were originally men, who dress up as women, and I'm guessing that some of them do class themselves as women. And maybe they all do, but I reckon that's what they probably do. And the problem is they are marginalised in Indonesia, often marginalised, and often resort to prostitution to just be able to survive, which is pretty sad. Pretty sad. I've also heard that in that community there is a lot of problems with AIDS as well. So there are charities or non-profit groups that do help out with making sure that those people can get the correct antiviral drugs or retroviral drugs or whatever they're called to treat their AIDS these days, which is it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. But what it does go to show is that no matter how conservative a population is, the reality of the world always seems to come to the surface. Hey, that's a nice styling, isn't it? That's like a Gaudi type style. I reckon you have to be pretty brave to do something like Gaudi style here in Indonesia, like to get that all done properly. It's going to look nice in the end though, once it's all finished. It's pretty brave. In fact, what I like about it is that a lot of more modern constructions these days here in Indonesia, I've even seen it in Australia in recent times, is there's a very cubic design, very box-like. It's the modern styling. I guess it's to make the most of the land that you're on. It's to build right up to the edges, and to do that you need to make it into a box. They're choosing a little bit of a different styling just to get those rounded edges, which I think it looks good. You know, something a little bit different. So we're coming on to the mangroves here. On the other side of those mangroves there is the canal, which is not a bad place to go and have a walk, actually. I will walk along a little bit of it just to show you, because I haven't been down there for quite a few months. Not on channel anyway, I do run across here occasionally as well. I'll show what it looks like, this canal, because it's nice. Hello, how are you?
Hello,
where are you from?
I'm from Bali.
Di mana di Bali?
Denpasar.
Denpasar Selatan?
Yeah, Pemogan.
Pemogan, lokal.
Yeah, lokal.
Sanur.
Sanur.
Asli Australia.
Oh.
Ya, lagi apa? Nongkrong?
Oh, makan dimakan.
Makan ya?
Silakan makan.
Ya, oke. Silakan ya. Oke, ya. All right, I'll show you this little canal. I actually really love it down here. I don't know why. I mean, it's a bit of a filthy canal at times, but I just enjoy it. And it looks like it, well, it's running out, so it must be the tide is going out at the moment. So you can tell it's high tide. See that path down there? There's a path in there that's covered with water. At low tide, of course, that's not covered. At high tide it is. And you can see the water flowing out of that pipe there from these mangroves. They've actually got a two-way system that, when they built the path, allows those mangroves to still get water. And because the water's flowing out, well, that means the tide's going out, but it's still pretty high. That's the theory anyway. You probably look at the tide chart and it's low tide at the moment. Beautiful weather at the moment, isn't it? Look, I mean, I don't know if I can see a cloud in the sky. Oh, I saw one behind the trees over there. There's one cloud. And the rest of it's just clear blue skies. And there is a pretty stiff breeze blowing. So it's quite cool. Like, it feels quite cool. Oh, this dude's trying to catch something with a net in the water. And it's not a fish. Something that just drowned, it looked like. Binatang apa itu?
Kadal.
Oh, kadal.
Yeah.
Oh, lizard.
Yeah.
Oh, kadal. Semacam biawak.
Yeah, biawak.
Ah.
Nyampi.
Ah, nyambi ya. He's trying to get a big lizard in there. Anyway, it's pretty cool down here. Pretty local style. So they have these all along this canal, and it's not perfect. They have these little filters on the rivers to try and filter out the rubbish. But the problem is that if you have a lot of water coming down this river, that these nets and grates get filled up really quickly, and you sort of need to empty them real quick. Otherwise, what happens, it just busts through, or the rubbish gets busted through, and yeah, it sort of defeats the purpose. It's a tough one, I guess. I mean, I don't want to be critical of people, because I reckon it's a bit harder than it meets the eye if you've got a lot of rubbish coming down the river to clean out those grates. But they do a pretty good job of it. Just seeing some guys passing by with kites on their motorbikes. Pantai Mertasari at this time of year is a hive of activity quite often, with people flying kites. And there are a few festivals going on as the rest of June sort of goes on, and into August as well. There are specific dates, and you can look up on social media what the specific ones are. I mean, rather than me going through each individual one, because a lot of the time it's not as easy as saying, okay, on this day at this time someone's going to be here. We have approximations. Like, for example, this weekend I know there is some activity down there, and next weekend definitely there is some activity down there. There will be on other weekends as well at different times, and just rolling up you usually find something pretty interesting going on as well. But trying to sort of, I think sometimes in Indonesia, when we try and schedule our day too accurately, you end up getting to a place and like no one's turned up, and you wonder why people aren't there, even though it was supposed to start at 9 a.m. It's like 3 p.m. and people are just rolling up. That's why I don't try and sort of get too accurate with my timing here. It's that jam karet thing that I've talked about before, which is, yeah, rubber time here is really interesting. Hard to get used to from this Western mindset. I nearly got clipped by that bike there. That was close, wasn't it? I felt the wind whoosh past me. I'm on the footpath, by the way. Yeah, our Western brain doesn't really comprehend too well jam karet. I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm getting better, I'm a lot better than I was. So the canal goes along here, up, and then out into the ocean there. And I'll cross over there to a place, I think I'm going to do it, is a place called Muntig Siokan. You're supposed to pay to get in. Oh, there's those guys from earlier. So I think you're supposed to pay 15,000 or something. I don't even know what you're paying for because it's just a piece of public land with not much there. Well, I'll pay it anyway. I don't even know what it's for, but we'll see. There's a beautiful staff here. Thank you, yeah. All right, we go across the bridge to Muntig Siokan. Haven't been here for a while. 15,000 entry. And we'll have a look. Oh, that's pretty cool. So that's the water flowing out to the ocean, and it is quite brown, obviously, because it's water coming from the city out into the ocean. The ocean's looking pretty nice out there. Over there, you can see land just beyond the exit of the canal. That's actually Pulau Serangan. Now, this little island here, or this little area here, is pretty unpopular. Like, no one really comes here. Here we go. Permisi. Little photo shoot going on there. I guess what they want to do with this place is to sort of do it up a bit, because it's another part of Sanur which hasn't really had much development going on, and I guess they see some potential in it. And I sort of understand that a little bit, but I still don't really understand the purpose. So let's get onto the beach. I'll show you what's going on over here. I sort of like the idea of it, but I guess one of the problems is, as a beach, it's a little bit tough because that river comes out, and any rubbish that comes out of that little, well, out of the canal, it sort of comes up onto the beach. Now, to sort of counter that, they have a fleet of staff down here every morning cleaning up, which I've seen, which is really good. But it's not really the sort of place that you'd want to swim anyway. I actually quite like it. You know, somewhere a little bit different. I mean, it's a bit crappy, but I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like the no frills style of this place, and I like that all over Indonesia. You go to little beachside places and there's no frills, and it's a little bit like, I don't know, it's not great, but I enjoy it. I don't know what that is. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? If there's a place that's not really up to par, but you enjoy it. Oh, I can see a horse over there. It's a tiny one. I wonder if I can get on it. Oh, they've got little sea-doo / jet ski type things here as well. I'm guessing you can rent those. I reckon they might be cheaper than you might be able to get elsewhere as well, because it's in a place that no one comes. That's what I'm guessing. But there's actually not that many staff around here, so I'll need to be able to raise someone if I want to find out what the story with these horses is, whether I can jump on one. Like, I'm no expert with horses, so I'm going to need a bit of help if I get on one of these. Okay, this is my steed. Apparently I'm supposed to get on this thing. I've ridden a horse a few times in my life, maybe, I remember 2 times actually, and I wasn't very confident on them. I find them to be quite scary, so I'm going to get on this thing, see how it goes. Looks pretty well fed actually. A bit docile, but I hope it stays docile while I'm on top of it. All right, I'm going to try and get on this thing. Here we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I nearly came up there. I got a little bit too excited, nearly went over that way. Well, I'm on it. Oh. Masuk aja. Okay, I've got my feet in the stirrups. Oh yeah. Okay, this thing's got a bit of kurang panjang ya betul. They're saying the that's all a bit lepas dulu. Okay, they have to lengthen the stirrups or whatever they're called. My legs are too long. This is Indonesian style. My feet nearly touched the ground on this thing. Before I got on this thing, I thought, oh, I'm going to like race up and down the beach on this thing and get some really good footage. Now I'm on it. No way. This is scary, this thing. Cukup, yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh God, it's really, it's not fun. Like, it's pretty scary. Like, it's all over the place. I feel like I'm going to get tipped off sideways. That's what it feels like. Anyway, we'll get this guy leading me along, see where we go. Oh my God. So the guy's just explaining me this horse is a bit difficult. I said, what do you mean difficult? Like, he goes, well, if you get it up to speed, it's a bit difficult to stop it. I said, that's probably not the horse on me, mate. Anyway, we're going along. He's not touching the horse now, and I'm riding on my own. We've got it in a slow walk at about, I don't know, 2 kilometres an hour. Oh, shit.
Pegang aja nih, pegang. Ini pegang aja.
Oh, we got a bit of a trot going there. Hey! Hey! Holy! Oh! Adieu! Oh my god! I feel so unstable on this thing. It's crazy. Like, it gets it running. I don't feel like I've got any control or balance. I don't know what's going on. Okay, lari. Sedikit, yeah. Okay, here we go. He says he's going to give us a run. Oh. Oh, well. Not stabil. Oh, this is the most uncomfortable donkey I've ever been on. Oh. Okay. Berhenti dulu. Woo. All right. Way. Okay. Oh, udah cukup ini. Udah selesai aku.
Ya, sekarang sampai sana.
Oh, sampai sana.
Kita masuk dalam.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got up this way a bit now. Hey, get in. Okay. Wow. Now that is good fun, but a little bit scary. You got to live on the edge a little bit here. Oh, don't run me into the pole. Here we go. Go around the back. This guy's laughing. Tatatawa ya pa. Come left. Oh, right. Now go right. Oh, yeah. The other left. If Susan was on this thing, she should be into the tree, but she was on left when it means right and right when it means left. Well, you can see by my horse riding skills that I'm no horse expert. I'd be hopeless out in the bush. Oh, I've nearly gone into the tree there. Lurus. This is a good way to learn your language as well. Kiri means left, kanan means right, lurus means straight. And if you want to run, you have to say lari. If you want to stop, you just say stop. This horse is a bit of a wild one though. So if you say stop, it just might keep lari. Well, I reckon this is a pretty cool activity. Like, if you've got nothing else to do and you've got a choice between going to the Icon Mall and coming down here to ride one of these horses, which seem well fed and quite healthy, to be honest, I reckon this is a good way to support the care of these horses, but also have a bit of a good time as well. I've really enjoyed this and going back. I mean, it's a 10-minute ride. I've been on it for less than 10 minutes, but I've had enough. If you love your horses, you'll love it down here. That's mad, that is. Word for horse is kuda. And one of the things that you see all throughout Indonesia, for some reason, is these little horse rides everywhere. The price that you're going to pay there is dependent on your negotiation skills. So the lady offered me 150,000 as the opening price, and for me, that sounded too expensive, so I did negotiate. I won't tell you how much I've got because I don't want to sort of take money off them, but just know 150 negotiable. I think that's fair, isn't it? Oh, hello. What are you doing? Yeah? Oh, I hope you don't have rabies. No biting. Hello. Oh, what a part of town this is. You can see they've been struggling with the rubbish. They've had people down here sweeping it up into piles, but one of the things is that trying to keep on top of rubbish when there's so much coming down every day is really difficult. And the problem is with these beachside towns is that they can only do so much to clean up the rubbish that's coming down the rivers. Hey, what are you doing? Come on. Thought he was going to bite my ankles. You can only do so much to clean up what comes down the rivers, because first of all, you've only got a limited number of people. But I mean, you can see up here, all this rubbish up here, which is obviously washed up at high tide over the weeks and so forth. If you look at what the majority of this rubbish is, you can quite easily see what the majority of it is. It's all these cups, yeah, kopi kenangan, aqua glass, which is huge, tear glass, another big brand. What some people have done, some of these eco warriors have done in the past, Indo milk, heaps of tear glass actually. The number one is those one single-use plastic cups, yeah. What a lot of these eco warriors have done in the past, if they've tried to get all this rubbish, pick it up, sort it into piles based on the brand, and then try and shame those companies by saying, hey, these products you're selling all around Indonesia are ending up in the waterways, and hey, look at this Aqua, Nestle, this is what you're doing to the environment. And it didn't work, didn't have any impact at all. I thought that was a pretty good idea, but if the brands don't really care, well, there's not really much you can do about it. But yeah, it is pretty shocking, isn't it? How much of that, I mean, look at it. It's almost all of those plastic containers, tear glass again, tear glass, tear glass. I mean, yeah, actually, tear glass is a really big one there, isn't it? Miswe, that Chinese brand, which is everywhere these days. That's terrible, terrible. You just wonder how there could be just so much rubbish coming down the rivers. But that's what's happening, isn't it? I mean, it's a really bad habit that Indonesians have got that I think we all used to have. I mean, I remember as kids, we used to throw rubbish out the window until I think there was some government campaign where they gave you those little plastic bags to put on your window winder. And then when you had those plastic bags on your window winder, you were more sort of likely to stuff your rubbish into that than just throw it out the window. So I remember everyone used to throw rubbish out the window, and it wasn't even culturally frowned upon. All right, so we're getting down to this old boat, which I've showed on the channel before. I don't know what the story is, but it's one of these old fast boats to the islands. And I'm assuming that it was purposely run aground and left here. That's what I'm assuming. I mean, I don't know. Interestingly though, so between here, this is where the beach ends. So between here and there's a Pantai Sirakaria, which is over there about 300 meters, there is a mangrove swamp that used to be prawn farms back in the day before the mangrove sort of grew up around it. And I'm told by the locals that there is no way across there, unless it's low tide, you might be able to get through there somehow. I might just have a little peek to see if there is a track there that some other locals know about. That, yeah, here we go, what's this? So I can see a swamp in there. I don't know if I want to go through here. We'll have a look anyway. But there seems to be some sort of track. I bet you I'll come onto some sort of secret den of something over here. That's what it feels like. Oh. I hope I don't get into my normal sort of situation where I need to cross a swamp to keep going. Oh, that's to get around the boat. Oh, is that right? So I'm around the boat now. Yeah, okay. Oh, the beach is over here as well. How far can I go? Oh, not far. But there's some guys out there doing something. They're in the middle of nowhere. I wonder what they're up to. They'd have to be fishing, wouldn't they? Over in the distance, you can see those kites up there. I wonder if I can get in closer. Yeah, that looks like a, I don't know if that's queer. There's all these different types of kites, and Susan's sort of learned them off by heart, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. So that there looks like a queer, and then in the real far distance, I don't know if that's visible on camera, there's a jangan, which is the one with the long tail. But there are different types of jangan apparently. There's jangan buntut, and buntut means tail, but it doesn't mean the jangan with the tail. It's one of these things that's really difficult to get a handle on. But once you know them all, you'll sound like a kite expert. It's interesting, this is lagi pasang. So pasang is when the tide is high tide, and then surut is when it's out. I often get the word surut wrong, and I say serut, and serut is the word that you use for ice. Ice serut, when you shave the ice. Now that I've told you that, you'll probably get it wrong too. It's one of those things that I always get wrong. There's a lot of words in Indonesian that you don't use a lot that sound like another word that you don't use a lot, and then you're definitely going to use it wrong as time goes on, but that's okay. That's just the way it is when you're learning a new language. Even when you've been learning for a long time, you get that. Oh yeah, they've strung a net up all the way along here. Huge net out there trying to pull in the fish. There is a lot of debris here. I just wonder what that is. A lot of weed on there, but then there are like fishing nets, bags. I don't know what sort of bags they are. Fishing gear, heaps of fishing gear actually. Most of that's fishing gear. But then there are some of these things. I don't know what this is. I don't know. That looks like part of a kite. Anyway, I don't want to be going poking around in the rubbish. Otherwise I'll turn into one of those people trying to save the world, and I don't think I'm one of those people. Although I do care. Looks like someone's been having fun down here. I don't know how many bottles are there, but there'll be a few bucks. No, not a few bucks. Well, those bottles are worth something. I was going to say there's a few bucks worth there, but I mean, can't remember how much the price is per bottle, but like say if you're drinking beer at home and you order a case of beer or a crate of beer, the first crate that you get is full price, but then every crate you get after that, because you're giving them back the empties, you get a discount, because what they'll do, they'll reuse them like in the old days. Old days is Jaman Dulu, like Jaman Dulu in Australia, we used to have those reusable bottles as well, but I'm not sure we do that much anymore, do we? But yeah, they still do it here. I really like that system of recycling for the beer bottles. As I was saying that, I trod on some piece of rubbish, and it squirted something out of it all up my leg. Love it. It's really funny, I've just caught myself really enjoying my day here and forgetting about me being sick. This morning I was pretty sick, got out of bed and started feeling a little bit better, but now I'm feeling great. Just getting out of the house sometimes sort of picks you up a little bit. I guess even just going for a walk around and trying to get active again really can pick you up, and getting on the horse and going a bit crazy with the locals there. It's always just good fun and takes you away from just sitting in your room in bed feeling sorry for yourself. I mean, I'm physically feeling better as well, but that mental stuff shouldn't be underrated, I reckon. Oh, by the way, the lady said the opening price for those jet skis is $450,000 for 15 minutes. I'm assuming it's negotiable. I wouldn't mind coming and doing that myself at some point, and maybe I'll do that. That'd be pretty cool to get out there on those jet skis. I'm not sure how far you can go, but I reckon you can go pretty far. You wouldn't want to get out to the reef, but I think you could get pretty close. I might do that. They've even got a couple of little warungs over here, and I just saw the pricing is $27,000 for a nasi goreng ayam at one of those warungs. So you get a feel for the prices. That's pretty cheap, isn't it? This is pretty cool. Tsunami evacuation map for Sanur, which is interesting because I live in an area that's a yellow zone. Everything along the beach is the red zone. I don't know. I mean, those zones are related to how deep the tsunami will be once it gets to your place. But it doesn't tell you how big the tsunami has to be for it to get to that level. You know what I mean? Like, they should probably do it the other way around, like just in terms of risk. And I would say that I'm in a yellow risk zone. Like if we had some sort of sea level rise of like 5 meters, I would be underwater where I am, even though I'm a good couple of kilometers from the beach. And so if you get a tsunami, yeah, all of like a massive area of the south of Bali is so low lying that they'd get done. A lot of these creeks and rivers all along the south of Bali are pretty flat, you know. They've only got that slight slope on them from Denpasar, where Denpasar is a little bit higher up than here, but not a heap. So I'm down at the little lagoon at Pantai Mertasari, and it looks like a lot of the rubbish here has been cleaned up in recent times. It's funny, I was over here, I wasn't filming at the time, went over there, and there's a lady cleaning the road over there about a couple of weeks ago, and she was literally picking up rubbish and throwing it in the lake. She's one of the government employees, and I went over and said, "Why are you throwing that in the lake?" She goes, "Oh no, I've got to clean the road. It's not my job to clean the lake." And I thought, well, that's a bit rough, isn't it? That's probably why I was getting all the rubbish in the lake. The lady was throwing it in there. Anyway, there's these guys here doing kite flying at the moment. They're practicing, I guess, for what's coming up. Look at that. Look at these kites. Aren't they cool? Very cool kites. And then there's a bit of a jangan up there, which is hard to see. One of the cool things about the kites is the noise that they make in the air is just, well, it's quite beautiful. One of those peaceful things, the fluttering of the kites down here in Pantai Murtasari. I love it. These guys here are just about to fly their kite. The word for kite in Indonesian is either layang-layang or layangan. They use the word layangan a lot more commonly, I think, in Bali. I actually learnt it as layang-layang originally, but they always say layangan here, which is harder to say. I'm always stumbling over that. This has a big ekor or buntut. So ekor and buntut mean the same thing, basically. And so this is a jangan, but a jangan with a buntut is not called jangan buntut. It has to have no buntut to be called jangan buntut. It's so weird. So look at that. The other thing about ekor is, oh yeah, kepalanya. Here we go. He told me that. Look at the kepalanya. Look at that kepalanya. Isn't that cool? There's a cool kepalanya. Get it from the other side. Look at that one. Now that is a cool. So one of the things you need to fly the kite is angin kencang. Yeah, angin is wind and kencang is strong, but in a particular way that refers to things like wind. Because there's another word for strong, which is kuat, but it's a different type of strong. It's yeah, the way we use words in English is different to the way they use them here. There she goes. Wow. Mad. Isn't it amazing how long that tail is on that thing? Now, if you're here in Sanur at any time over the next month or so, probably up until mid to late August, you should come down here to Pantai Murtasari just to have a look at what's going on. There's not always a competition, there's not always a festival, but there's usually guys down here flying their kites, and it's just such an interesting little thing to do. One last thing before I close today's video is, a few of you have noticed I've been experimenting with a new camera. It's actually what's on screen right now, but it hasn't been used through the whole video. And I've just been it's like a tool of the trade. You've got to get used to it and figure out how it's going to work for you and whether you want to use it in a particular way or not. So that's what I've been experimenting with a little bit over the past few videos, including the one today. So I hope you'll bear with me as I try and get things sorted out and get it to look the way that I want it to look. Thanks once again for coming along with me today here in Sanur for this walk after my illness, after I've gotten out of bed after about 24 hours. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and sampai jumpa.